In the last few years of high school in a small town, I kept trying to enroll in arts courses, but I was told by my guidance counselor I couldn't do it because if I wasn't holding the art tools myself, I wasn't really doing the work, and that he'd give me an exclusion on arts credit. This was to become very important to me later on, so when I moved to Toronto, I enrolled in college, but only lasted through the first semester because I couldn't decide what I wanted to do next. So I decided to take a break to figure it out. Little did I know that if you take a break as an individual with a disability, you lose the little momentum you have to get back in the rat race. So, one thing I realized that there aren't very many entry-level jobs that you can get as a physically disabled person who can only use one hand and cannot lift much. That are the kind of jobs that would provide enough stimulation to encourage me to get back in the race. And there really wasn't any career or college courses that I really wanted to take to dive back into the academic world, because at the time I hated essay writing. There is less incentive for me to have wanted to go back to school because I was starting to see my friends with disabilities graduating with degrees and still not being able to get a job. Some of them found paid work. Some of them have gone back to school like me. Others are keeping themselves busy volunteering like me. So I, as with many friends, have tried career placement programs with varying success. When I went in and said that I wanted to do something either in the arts or in disability advocacy, they said we don't have a template for that. All the templates they had that they thought I would have success with didn't appeal to me. So the program said they wished me luck and sent me away. I observed many of my friends having the same frustration with career programs. Some of them have gone back to school with really high expectations and come out frustrated, and some are even a little burnt out, and still they have trouble getting jobs matching their degrees. The educational system is getting better at being inclusive little by little, but the career and job world needs to get better. There are always exceptions to the rules. There are a lot of jobs that pop up for people with disabilities, but they seem to be connected to grants and programs. When the grants and programs run out, the jobs disappear soon after. There aren't a lot of places that are trying to creatively and innovatively adjust the job to a person's unique abilities, but the places that do reap great rewards. Another barrier is how sticky the social assistance program can be, because if you find a part-time meaningful work, there is usually more paperwork and red tape that has to be filled out, and it can cause more grief than not being paid at all. As a person with a disability who likes to do more than sit around collecting my social assistance, I do a lot of volunteering. I have a long resume of interesting volunteer jobs to prove this, but because of my physical limitation, at some of these organizations where there have been staff openings that come up, they aren't even open to the most qualified of us volunteers. Sometimes I feel like I'm a professional volunteer. Organizations may cite the barriers to hiring somebody with a disability as being physical barriers, but most of the time it's more of a cultural barrier than anything else. So for right now, I want everybody to stop and digest these ideas. I myself am going to join the rat race with my art and creativity that the high school said I didn't have, but I am going to pace myself to avoid burnout.